Industrial agriculture practices include the use of harmful pesticides and chemicals to manage crops, antibiotic use in livestock, and the use of heavy machinery which emits harmful pollutants. It also perpetuates monocultural farming, which reduces biodiversity. Monoculture reduces soil quality by depleting it of its nutrients, while pesticides leave it contaminated. These issues cause environmental degradation by way of air and water pollution, which exacerbates climate change. It is evident that industrial agriculture is ravaging the Earth's ecosystem. It negatively impacts the natural environment as well as human health. Industrial agriculture is unsustainable, but nothing will change until
we address the problem of industrial agriculture and ways to decrease the impact it has on our environment. One strategy that can be used to address industrial agriculture in the future is utilizing environmental indicators. One environmental indicator that I have found to be really wonderful and helpful is the Agricultural Resources and Environmental Indicators Bulletin. It's released every few years, and it provides history of industrial agriculture and its impact on the environment so far, and makes educated guesses or predictions about where industrial agriculture is headed and ways that we can positively impact our world by implementing more sustainable practices in regards to industrial agriculture. For example, using our land that we already have for industrial agriculture more efficiently instead of making or taking more land and putting that towards industrial agriculture. 51% of North American land is used for industrial agriculture, and the number is growing, which is concerning because all that land could be put back into habitats or a different environment that supports sustainable living. Instead, industrial agriculture is using our resources and taking up our land, and it's creating a severe negative environmental impact every day. Another
strategy that can be used to address the problem of industrial agriculture is to implement a policy to increase the transparency of food productions by means of honest food labels. Currently, only 2% of products labeling themselves as green are true in their claims. The other 98% are not.
The majority of consumers are unaware of where their food truly comes from. With labels such as environmentally friendly, cage-free, and natural, consumers are easily misled into thinking they are helping to solve the problem of industrial agriculture.
A food label policy would require all corporate companies to not exaggerate their environmental claims and to provide both data and concrete numbers as to how their product impacts the environment. Corporate companies will be restricted from using common greenwashing terms without environmental certifications. The policy will also aim to educate the consumer on the processes that go into the production of their foods, as well as the effect that these processes have on the environment.
Until there is a shift in the industrial agriculture industry, we will continue to rely on practices that are rigorous on the environment.
In order to shift into more environmentally conscious farming practices on a large scale, consumers make a difference. As a community, if we choose products that are sustainably grown, we change what is in demand from the supply. Buying organic foods that do not use chemicals or pesticides is a choice for reducing the environmental impact of our food. If everyone in the community bought local food, it would reduce the demand for food to be transported long distances, cutting down the ecological footprint of items. We can also alleviate the problem by avoiding franchise restaurants that depend on large-scale food productions to supply food to a massive amount of people. As a community, we can make a difference on a global scale by choosing products that are sustainably grown and produced.
Our vision for the future includes better access to more affordable and local produce that is transparently labeled and sustainably produced. In order for communities to move forward with this vision, we will need to see the fading out of industrial agriculture and the reintroduction of sustainable farming practices such as polyculture, mixed crop and livestock farming, discontinued use of antibiotics and hormones, and livestock that is grass-fed and cage-free. Stakeholders such as farmers, consumers, and grocers are going to be the main change agents to help us reach this vision of the future. One example of community outreach that is moving us closer to our vision is the Community-Supported Agricultural Model, otherwise known as the CSA model, which is set up by the United States Department of Agriculture. Within this model, local consumers support local farmers by sponsoring their farm and paying their salary. Allowing farmers to have a larger return on the crop, the farmer in return gives them a share of the profit come harvest time. Each person involved has equal risk and benefit, and it allows farmers to put more money into their farms and creates more support for sustainable farms within the communities.